Angela Petrilli, and I am here with my friends at Fishman for a new episode. Today's episode is pre-recorded. I've been gigging a bunch in LA this weekend, but I'm really thrilled to teach you guys how to play this one today. So this is a fun song, I would say, geared towards my beginners who are watching today. All right, we're going to be learning What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding, written by Lowe, and we know that the awesome Elvis Costello sings this one a bunch. So we're going to be learning this one today. So have your electric guitar in standard tuning. If you only have an acoustic, it's okay. But it sounds particularly awesome on an electric. And I've got an offset today, too. I figured that'd be kind of fun since I know Elvis plays a Jazzmaster. I have a Mustang, but, you know, we're going with the offset theme today here on the Riff Rundown, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. So as always, you guys know I like to ask a question before we get started, so let me know where you are tuning in from and your first concert. I want to know. So where are you tuning in from and your first concert? And as always, if you guys are enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear, including these awesome P90 pickups, link is in the video description below, so you can check that out. All right, so here we go. Get those guitars tuned up. And let's go ahead and learn what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding. Here we go. Tune. We're going to learn it today. Really fun. As you can tell here, definitely geared towards my beginners. There are no bar chords in this song, all right? We've got some fun, very consistent strumming here. If you notice, my strumming hand just does not stop, right? It's that train. We're going to keep it moving, all right? So what we're going to look here is we're going to look at the intro. So we only have 2 chords in this intro, but what's really great in this intro is that we have a little melody line that runs through it. So I'm going to show you how to play it. So I'm going to play through the intro a little bit slower, okay? And again, I'm just going between 2 chords here, all right? So it sounds like this, just a little bit slower. Okay, here we go. So again, just G and C. We're playing G in a really interesting way. I don't think we've played G this way on the Riff Rundown before, but thought I would mention it today. So, from watching a lot of the live videos of Elvis playing this with his band, and from listening to it, to the best of my ear, it sounds like I'm not hearing that high G. It sounds like this chord, this G chord, ends on the B note. That's going to be the highest note that we hear. So we're just going to strum to the B note. Try not to hit the high E string, all right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to use a 3rd finger. We're going to place that on the 3rd fret of the E string. So that's our G note. That's our root. Now, we're only using 1 finger for this chord. Once we place that 3rd finger there, notice how the A string is muted. There is no A note in a G major chord. We only have G, B, and D, the 1, 3, 5, okay? So all those other notes are accounted for here in this version of G. They happen to be all open strings, which is great, all right? So what we're gonna do there is we're gonna strum down, down, up. And try your best to not hit the high E string. just like that. Again, nice, light touch here. I'm someone who likes to strum from the elbow a lot of the time. See how my hand, or my wrist rather, is pretty straight? If you're someone who strums from the wrist and that would be more comfortable for you here, you can absolutely do that. And that would look like this. Okay? Or strum from the elbow. I'm going to leave that up to you because we all have very unique ways in which we strum. So leaving it up to you, my friends. All right? So what's coming up next is going to be the little melody line. So the melody line played a little bit slower is going to sound like this. Okay, with the addition of that C chord at the end. I'm going to go ahead and do that again. Melody line into the C chord. Let me show you how to play the melody line. Okay, we're leaving that third finger there on the third fret of the E string. Okay, we're going to get our first finger now. We're going to place that on the first fret of the B string. That's our C note. C as in cat. Okay, and we're going to strum downward here, keeping that A string muted. Okay, kind of doing a cool suspension thing here. On the upstroke, release the first finger going back to that G chord. Okay, so in context with our G chord at the top, here's what that first half of the melody sounds like. Let's do that again together, shall we? I know it's pre-recorded today, but let me know how you're doing in the comments. I read these, and in the comments, you know, there's lots of other folks who are learning along with you, and it's a really great community we've built here, so don't be shy. Let's do that one more time. From there, okay, now the second finger is going to come into play. Place the second finger on the second fret of the G string. That's our A note. The chord sounds like this. Keep muting that A string. Good stuff, right? After that, we're going to go ahead and upstroke, release the second finger. In context, the melody sounds like this. Okay, so far so good? That's what's happening there. So let's go ahead and do the G chord with the melody line, and then we'll talk about the C chord in a second. Okay, I didn't forget it. We'll talk about it in a minute. Here we go, from the top. Start doing it a little faster. I think we're getting the hang of it. Here we go. Okay, from there, we're going to do the C chord. So the strumming there, down, so 2 down strokes. And then we're just going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, pretty consistent, pretty simple. And we're strumming from the A string downward. Those of you who don't know how to play a C chord, let me show you. First finger, first fret of the B string, that's our C note. Second finger, second fret of the D string, that is E. Our third finger, third fret of the A string, that is C. Strum from the A string downward. C, E, G, 1, 3, 5, building blocks of C major. And that's the chord, okay? And that's a little bit of the theory behind it. So let's go ahead and play this from the top nice and slowly. As I always say in these lessons, you can't play anything fast, you can't play slow. So take your time, it's okay, all right? Take your time. Here we go. Two more times. Last time. And that's our intro. So that intro happens 4 times. Let's go ahead and go on to the verse. I'm going to play the verses a little bit slower. We're going to incorporate part of that intro, okay? And then we're going to include some chords that go on at the end. There's going to be 4 of them. All right, so here are the verses. Those are our verses. Let's go ahead and talk about it. As we can see from that first half of the verse, it's exactly the same as the intro. So that's going to be repeated 2 times at the top of the verse. Now we're going to go ahead and incorporate 4 chords, okay? So the 4 chords are going to be E minor, A, D, and C. Let's talk about them. So E minor, I like to play with my 2nd and 3rd finger. 2nd finger goes on the 2nd fret of the A string, it's our B note, and then our 3rd finger goes on the 2nd fret of the D string, which is E. So you're going to go ahead and strum everything here. Okay? And the notes that are in this chord, it's going to be E is our 1, G is our flat 3, which we see with the open G string, and then B is the 5, okay? So that's what makes a minor chord, 1, flat, 3, 5. So just like that, all right? And the strumming pattern here, down, down, and then up, down, up, down, up, down, up, okay? So, pretty simple, okay? Next chord we're gonna play is gonna be an A major. There are many ways to play this. I've seen many different ways. This is the way that's comfortable for me when I am playing this song, but if you have a way that you like that's a little bit better, I mean, I've seen it played like this for like the kind of bluesier stuff. You could play an A like that. For this one, I'm going to choose to do it like this. So 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger. Okay, 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the D string. It's our E note. 2nd fret of the G string with your 3rd finger, that is going to be A, and then your 4th finger is playing C sharp, 2nd fret of the B string. So open A string, strum the bottom 5 strings. There's your A major again, throwing in a little theory. A, C sharp, E, 1, 3, 5, the building blocks of a major chord, okay? And same deal with the strumming pattern. Okay, from there we go to D major, and again, the strumming pattern is going to be the same with all 4 of these chords. D major, using my first 3 fingers here. 1st finger, 2nd fret of the G string, that is A. 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the E string, that is F sharp. 3rd finger, 3rd fret of the B string, which is D, okay? So, open D string, D, F sharp, A, 1, 3, 5, and same strumming pattern. And then finally C. See, we have already learned already. So let's go ahead and have a look at just the chords, and then we'll, for context, we'll go ahead and add that section before it. But let's get these chords down. Okay, so again, E minor, A, D, and C. I'll play them a little slower with some commentary, and then I'll do a pass without the commentary. That's just a little bit faster, okay? And again, if you're enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause, and that like button really helps with the algorithm as well. So I really, really appreciate it. So thank you all so much. All right, so here we go. E minor, A, D, and C. E minor. A. D. C. E minor, A, D, C. No commentary. Now to give it context, let's add at the top of that verse. So here we go, okay? Our little melody line with G and C. Here we go. Here are the chords. Let's repeat that. Now I'm going to do it a little bit faster. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's cool about this too, and you can especially hear it in the E minor A, that section of the song, when I'm strumming, and I'm talking to you, my beginners, notice how sometimes you hear some of those open strings between the switching of the chords. This is okay, all right? Don't feel like every strum needs to have a chord there. Sometimes those transitions from chord to chord will have some open strings, so that's okay. All right, we just don't want that gap to be too long, you know, if it was something like this. You can see how it starts to sound a little weird, right? So a little bit of open string is fine, all right? So just wanted to mention that in this tune. Okay, so those are the verses, pretty straightforward. So that whole section repeats twice, that G to C, and then E minor A, D to C, that whole thing 2 times, all right? So here's the chorus. I'm going to run through it a little bit slower than it is on the record, and then I'll talk through all of the chords. There's only one chord that we do not know yet that is in this chorus, all right? So here we go. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, the chords, very simple here. The strumming pattern, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Nothing fancy, okay? Again, listen back to the original tune. It's just a driving song. It's awesome. It's awesome. So that strumming, okay, I would say for those of you who are maybe a little bit nervous or still learning how to strum, go slowly first. We can't play anything fast, we can't play slow. So really take your time in getting, okay, my chord switches are good. All right, I'm going from chord to chord. This hand keeps moving because, again, this is like one brain and this is like another. Okay, and sometimes it takes a minute for these two to kind of start to talk to each other. So take your time. Good, well-intentioned practice makes for really great playing, okay? So take your time. Take your time. Can't play anything fast, we can't play slow. I say this all the time. So when we are doing that, okay, keeping that locomotion, okay, keeping that train moving here, all right? So now we get to the chords, okay? First chord here. We're going to go ahead, this first line, G to D to G7, new chord, to C, okay? We already know G and D, all right? With G7, I'll just go ahead and show you how to play that one first, okay? This is how I like to play it. From watching the live videos, I can't tell if Elvis is playing that B note or not, but I'll throw it in, all right? So here's how I like to play it, okay? It kind of looks like an outstretched C chord, okay? Because you got C here and a G7 looks like this. So what we're gonna do here, third finger, third fret of the E string, that's your G. We're gonna get our second finger here, second fret of the A string, that is a B, B as in boy, and our first finger here, okay? Placing that on the first fret of the E string, that's F, okay? Flat 7. Strum all 6 strings here. I like to think 7th chord sounds like question marks. I don't know, they just do with my brain, so if that helps you. Okay, beautiful transitional chord there. And then we go from a C. So this line sounds like this. So G, D, G7 to C. We already know how to play that C chord, so here we go. Again, down, up, down, up, down, up. Very simple strumming patterns. Do that again. G, D, G7, C. Here we go. One more time. Okay, our second line is going to be G to D, E minor to A. All chords that we saw in the verses. I'm going to call them out. G to D, to E minor, to A. Just like that. So I will go ahead and play through now the first 2 lines of the chorus, okay? G, D, G7, C, G, D, E minor, A. Okay? The last line of the chorus here is going to be G, D, E minor, D. That's going to sound like this. G, D, E minor, D. And then that leads us back to our intro. So here is the whole chorus. G, D, G7, C, G, D, E minor, A, G, D, E minor, D. Intro. Okay, pretty cool stuff, right? So what I'm going to do here, let's go ahead and run through the chorus without the commentary. I will play it just a little bit faster, okay, because the original is pretty quick. So I'll play the chorus a little bit faster, and then I will call out the part. So we'll go through the intro, verses, and chorus. And that's the tune. Again, if you guys are enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel on YouTube. It absolutely helps the cause. And if you want to check out all the cool stuff that I've been up to, visit my website, AngelaPetrilliMusic.com. All right, so here we go from the top. Here is the top of the chorus. Okay, no commentary, a little bit faster. Here we go. Let's do that chorus again. Okay, just get you an idea of the chorus and the melody line there. All right, so let's go ahead and start it from the top, shall we? Intro versus chorus. I will call out the parts. Okay, we're gonna play it a little bit faster. We're getting the hang of this. Here we go. Intro, melody line, G and C. Two more times. Here come the verses. Repeat. Chorus. Intro. Verse. Repeat. To our chorus, let's do it. That's the tune. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. Definitely geared towards the beginners here today. It's a fun one to really start to get the conversation going between that fretted hand and the strumming hand. All right, and again, really let the pick do the work for you here when you're strumming this. Trying to keep that constant momentum with the strumming hand is going to lead to a very successful capture of this really awesome, just very wonderful Nick Lowe tune. It's a really fun song. As always, I just want to thank all of you for being just so kind to one another in the comments. I love how uplifting and just how wonderful and supportive everyone is to each other in the chat. I see that, and I really, really appreciate it. We've built just such a wonderful thing here. So thank you all so much for making a space that's really safe for all of us to learn from all of our different points in our guitar playing journey. So thank you all very, very much. As always, I want to thank my friends at Fishman for helping me do these lessons week after week. You want to check out the awesome P90s that I used in this lesson today. Link is in the video description below. And as always, wishing you so much success in your musical journeys, folks. Have a wonderful weekend.